the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. Hi, this is Mustafa Ali with the Black Index. I pray that you guys are doing well today. Our figure that we're going to talk about today is a beautiful lady who many, unless you're a historian, don't know anything about in the history. So we're going to tell some of her history and show why this is important to us today, to know these things. And her name is Dr. Mary Elizabeth Branch. Dr. Mary Elizabeth Branch. She was born in Virginia in May of 1881, and she died in 1944. Her parents were former slaves. Her dad was respected. He was a learned man who could read and write. And he learned this because he had worked in the master's house. Her mother had a job at the State College in Farmville in Virginia. And she would wash clothes for some of the students and teachers. And at the age of 13, Dr. Branch would accompany her mother. And this is where she fell in love with books and reading. With books and reading. So the importance of being around institutions that promote education, and also to have parents who are educated or that take an interest in education, the effect that that has upon a child and the effects that it had upon this woman, Dr. Mary Elizabeth Branch. In January of 1881, now remember she was born in May of 1881. So in January of 1881, the same year that she was born, but before she was born, the American Missionary Association of the Congregational Church opened Tillotson Collegiate and Normal Institute in Austin, Texas. So here's a religious organization opening up what would become a college. What would become a college. The American Missionary Association of Congregational Church. They opened up, and at the time it was called Tillotson Collegiate and Normal Institute in Austin, Texas. Dr. Branch became the first woman in Texas to be president of a senior accredited college in 1930. She became the first woman president in the state of Texas to be president of a university. That is very important. But what is even more important is that when she took over the reins of president at Tillotson University or college, they had a small enrollment. The enrollment was small. They had dilapidated buildings. So to remember, this university established in 1881, the same year that she's born. From a distance. She's born in Virginia. But this is in Texas that this university opens up. And she took on some other jobs at institutions, but becoming the first president of an accredited College, the first woman in Texas. So at the university, it was a small enrollment. The buildings were dilapidated. They had an inadequate library. An inadequate library. So for her first 5 years, she remedied these things. Getting the enrollment up. The buildings became better quality. And she had a formidable, at that time, library. So, yes, she was the first woman, but look at what she was handed. Look at what she was handed. And what she did within 5 years. Dr. Mary Elizabeth Branch. And she remained the president till her death in 1944. In 1944. Why is she important? Because Dr. Branch is what every female in Africa and the diaspora could be, or let you know what you could do. Her parents, former slaves, and how she took a liking to reading and educated herself and went to college and became a doctor and was given, especially at that time, the impossible to make possible in 1930. Yes, given this position as the first woman, but she wasn't walking into everything is great and to increase the enrollment, to bring about better buildings, and to, at that time, build the library to Tillotson University. And what our young women at this time can get from Dr. Branch is how they could be more and how they could go on to do great things. And the achievements that she made. And also, at the time that she was born, right after Reconstruction in 1881. And at that time, the history of the United States with the black codes and certain ceilings and certain things that we couldn't do. But how this lady had a sense of self and didn't let those things stop her from progressing to become a mark in our history as black people. Dr. Mary Elizabeth Branch should be commended, should be cherished, and should be looked at as a role model throughout Africa and the diaspora, because you cannot separate the apple from the tree, and how she achieved the impossible and made the impossible possible. So for you guys, educate your daughters, your wives, your sisters on Dr. Mary Elizabeth Branch. Became the president in 1930 to 1944, her death, of Tillotson University or Tillotson College in Austin, Texas. We hope that you learned a little bit or a snap, and we will share the resources and do further research, because there's many women like this within our history that we're not going to be told. So God willing, this will break a cycle if we take these snapshots and look at what we can do with more resources, more access to books and information, and turn it into a tool for empowerment, a tool for change. We thank you. May God be with you. Peace be unto you.